Noah, why don't you do a little introduction? Who are you? What are you up to? What does your Tuesdays look like?
Oh my goodness. Just overall, just anything?
General.
Okay. My name is Noah Harrison. Some know me as Noah Paul Harrison. Just throw that little middle name in there.
It's a good middle name.
I am from Michigan, Detroit area of Michigan, Metro Detroit. And I moved to Redding, California about, like 8 or 9 years ago. So I lived here. I was a part of BSSM, and I served and lived here for a few years after. I married an amazing woman named Carling. Carling is just an absolute, she's amazing. She's wise and smart, beautiful. She's a great worship leader, great artist. But we got married about a year after living here. And essentially, Joel and Sarah Power were in the process of like starting Bethel, New York, which was the one of the more recent church plants from Bethel. And about 6 months of being married, they were kind of texting us and being like, "Hey, you guys should come out to Bethel, New York. Come and do some worship nights and just see what it's like." And I was like, "No, I'm not down for New York. Like, I've never been there, but I just know it's stinky, and I know it's." But so we moved there, and we've been a part of the church plant. And about that time, right when we were moving, is when I actually signed with Bethel Music. So I wasn't a Bethel Music artist when we lived here. I just was serving and leading. And then when we left is kind of when it shifted. I was already writing songs and making music, but I love getting to lead worship, getting to connect with our worship team, getting to just like be a part of people's journey of growing as worship leaders and musicians. And I love songwriting, like anything in the world of like, from sitting down and writing a song to producing a demo and like just throwing ideas down and then getting to work with other people on expanding it and making it sound awesome. And then sometimes leading it at church too. Yeah.
Local church. Why is it so important to you at the moment? Are you saying like to be a part of local church or to to serve in local church? They're both and. I feel like the generation, for the first time ever, I'm using the word generation a lot on this podcast, but we can satisfy a lot of our spiritual needs online.
Yep.
We can go on Instagram rather than read the Bible.
Yeah.
And we can read the Bible more on Instagram than we do on the Bible, like in the Bible. Yeah. And or like, we can attend a church. You can attend Bethel Church in Redding, California, when you're in the middle of nowhere. And it's a great tool for those who are like seriously disconnected, maybe away from church.
Yeah.
But actually there is something specific that God has on the local church.
Yeah.
I know for me, it's been such a blessing to not have to travel to my church as much. I used to travel like an hour plus to get to church. I now walk 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's just so beautiful because I get to serve, I get to be in community, I get to be healed in community, I get to worship and learn and grow and find freedom. Yeah. It's just the church has played such a big part in my life, and some people are moving away from that.
Yeah.
Whereas you moved somewhere for it.
Yeah.
It's like the flip side of it. So why is it so important to you?
Oh my gosh, dude. I feel like it's, I think like the older, I'm only 27, but like every year that goes by, it becomes more apparent of like how important it is to be a part of church. And I think especially like people that are like, especially people that are like creatives and people that are exporting things around the country, around the world. Maybe they're known by other people. Like I just like the thought of doing music or worship music and not being connected to the local church feels like kind of scary to me, because I think that like the church is like, it is literally it's the bride of Christ. And so it's literally like, I mean, people, I know you're talking about people that have walked away from the church because they're hurt or they just have had a bad experience. But like the church is like God loves the church. And it's a part, like, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to try to like do life if you're a Christian and not be connected to the local church. I think that there's like you were saying, you can have experiences and watch worship sets on YouTube and stream in, and it's great. But there's something about just being at church on Sunday, being midweek, whatever service you're going to, and having like just connection with people, you know? I think there's also one thing for me, being a worship leader and being somebody who writes and worships on my own. There's a place that you can't go and worship by yourself, that you go when you're in a room with other people in unity. And so I think that there is like, you know, obviously everyone is always encouraging, like, read your Bible on your own, spend time with God on your own. Obviously, yes. But there's also like, I just feel like there's a way that God sometimes speaks to us in church through the like physically being with other people, through listening to the preacher, the pastor. You know, maybe somebody comes up and gives you a word. But man, yeah, to me, it's like massively important. And I couldn't imagine not, you know, being plugged into the local church. Yeah.
And often you read in the Bible, community is like such an important role in healing.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you can be fully seen and fully known by God.
Yep.
And that's what you need, right? To be fully seen and fully known by God. But actually, there is more healing in community. It's why it says, like, confess to one another that you may be healed.
Yep.
Because you're seen and you're known, and you have like people coming alongside you, getting you to church when you don't really want to come, pointing you back to Jesus when you haven't got the energy yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you live this independent life, you just like, you lose inspiration at some point. You have a bad day. You wake up and you're hangry because you forgot to eat the night before or something. And then suddenly your connection with God and being seen and known there has kind of lost its place a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so important. It's so cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah.
And there's going to be lots of different people watching this podcast from lots of different contexts.
Yeah.
And I think one that would be quite interesting is on how to cultivate a worship team culture.
Wow.
Because you're kind of starting fresh, aren't you? Do you have a big worship team?
Yeah. We're like, I mean, our church, for how young we are, I'd say we're like maybe a little bigger than a normal church plant. I don't know, to be honest. But we're less than 2 years old as a church.
Yeah.
It's funny that you said that, because we actually me and my wife just did a class yesterday on pioneering worship culture. Or no, that was today. Yeah, that was today. It's all
blurring.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Dude, I think, okay, so what I would say is, when we first got there to New York, in my mind, I was thinking, okay, like, how do we copy what's happening here at Bethel Music, Bethel Church, and like take it and then paste it into the setting of New York? And because we spent a lot of time here, I really believe in a lot of like what we do and the core values of our movement. And so I was trying to like be like, okay, what does it look like to paste it and for it to be, Bethel Redding in New York? And I think that I learned pretty quickly that wasn't going to work exactly the way that I was expecting it to, because the setting of New York is so different. It's, obviously very busy. People, we have people on our team that will commute that's like over an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. And if you're stuck in traffic, so it's just a different world. It's a different culture. Kind of feels like a different country, to be honest. And, I think what I've been learning, me and my wife both, is that, it's going to look different, and we can't necessarily copy the exact way that it's done here and paste it. It's going to be different, even culturally. Like it's like New York is extremely diverse, like very, very diverse. So for us, I think what we've been really trying to like seek the Lord on is like, what does it look like for us to take the core values of Bethel Church, of Bethel Music, of the purity of worship, like the spontaneity, the excellence, seeking the Lord, following the Lord in a worship set. What does it look like to take those core values and then kind of implement them in this new place? And then like maybe all the systems and functions look a little different. The way that we do a sound check is going to be a little different. The way that we do team meetings, for example, we in Reading, we would do a team meeting every month. And it would really, I think that was a big part of the Bethel worship culture, is that the team meets together and has dinner together. And there's actually like a family community aspect of it, where it's like we worship together and we have dinner together. And in New York, it's a little harder to gather everybody as frequently, in person. So like there's certain things where we're adapting, and we're doing like, we actually have like a hybrid thing where we'll do a Zoom meeting every other month, and then we'll meet in person every other month. So we're always having like the monthly connection.
It's great.
But just, figuring out ways to make it more doable and more sustainable for our team. So, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, like the core side of it, we want to still bring that, like, we care about like the way that we posture ourselves in worship. We're not just trying to like put a show on and just attract people with a cool sounding noise. Like we want to be like deep and authentic in our worship, and also be really prepared and show up really practiced and excellent,
Yeah. No, it's great. So, I think it's awesome and really real. Like, to assume that something that fits this box, like Bethel Reading, can fit in other places just because it's cool here. Yeah, it just doesn't. It's not true. It doesn't work. And I wonder if people watching, some may have been here before. Many have probably been impacted by some of the Bethel Music songs. Like you've probably heard of Holy Forever or Goodness of God.
I've never heard of those songs.
They're random. Who knew? But like they're songs that are sung in a lot of churches all over the world. And I think there's a bit of a heartache sometimes for people who long for what's here in their own place. Yeah. And almost want to contest for what's here in their own place. That's real. Some of which have been here, some people haven't. You have. And you've experienced it firsthand. You've been involved, you've been saturated in the worship culture. You said yourself, we had to adapt, but we could bring the core values. Do you mind just like running us through, what are the core values in worship when establishing a worship team?
Yeah, I mean, we actually have like a booklet that we have, but I'll just spit a couple of things off the top. I think one is that I was mentioning is excellence. We always talk about David in his time of where he wasn't necessarily, he wasn't king, but he was a young shepherd boy, and he spent years like practicing in the field and fighting off lions and bears and all giant creatures. And so when like the moment came for Goliath, it wasn't like he showed up and it was just like, somehow I hit Goliath in the head of the stone. It was like, no, he was honing in his craft. And so for us, I think of like a worship set in a similar manner. We talk about like, I think Jen was talking about in the session today of like, Jen and Susie, of like in spontaneous moments, we don't work on our craft to just sound good. We actually work on our craft and practice and hone in our instrument, our voice, our songs, because when the moment happens where the Lord is like wanting to move and maybe go off the page, or, you know, a new song, a new sound or something, our unpreparedness doesn't get in the way of that. We're actually so prepared and so ready for the moment that we can actually just kind of let go. And there's like that muscle memory that's been built over time of practice, of preparing, so that you can actually like really go to a deep place in worship. So yeah, that's a big thing, is like being prepared. You know, we like, one thing that we really, especially like in the first year or two, has been like, we actually will, this is more like specifically for like band worship leaders, but like we'll send arrangements for the song. I know that in some churches, sometimes people will kind of just do whatever arrangement they want, which is totally fine. But one thing I've picked up from being here is like, it's actually awesome to learn the arrangement of the song, like from the album, because there's like the producers and the writers actually put in so many hours of labor and love into writing these parts to fit the song. And so, yeah, that's a big thing, is like we ask and desire that our team learns the arrangement and learns the album version. It's kind of like a niche thing, but so that's something, you know, the purity of worship, that's a huge thing, is like, we just like, at the end of the day, like if you're leading on stage, you are leading, there's a heavy weight that you're carrying for the church. You're leading them into these deep moments. And so, yeah, that's another thing, is like, you know, we have a high standard of purity for our team. And we also like, it's not necessarily like, oh, you don't hit this mark, like you're rejected or whatever. Like we have people that where it's like, we want to walk with you, and we want to be connected with you and walk with you to a place where you're walking in wholeness and walking in freedom. So that's a huge thing. And also I think there's a quote from Jeremy Riddle from one of his books. I can't remember the exact quote, but it's like success. Like, I think, you know, people talk about like, you know, sounding cool and selling records and all this stuff. And I think he has this quote about like success is great, but only when purity has a knife to its throat and it's willing to cut its throat at any moment. And so for me, I think one thing that I'm trying to, you know, we're trying to navigate as a team is like, what does it look like to have this high level of sound and like show up super crushing it, prepared, you know, writing sick songs and like just having these explosive moments, but also being obedient and posturing our heart in worship of like, it's not about sounding good. It's not about gaining more attention or followers. Like, we actually want to like minister to the heart of God. And so if there's a moment where it feels like the Lord's calling us into something that feels uncomfortable, a waiting moment, or even like, you know, there's so many times where I felt like my gut, I'm like, I'm supposed to sing this, and I sing it, and then I'm like, oh, that did not go great. But I'm like, I was being obedient. I did my best. And then you can always debrief those moments and be like, okay, what can we do different next time? But that's a huge thing, is like obedience, purity. Yeah, there's probably more, but yeah, those are some of like the big ones.
That's brilliant. Yeah. It's so like practical.
Yeah.
I feel like people listening, from whatever context, whether you're a bass player, whether you're the worship pastor, whether you're just a worship leader, whether you're just observing or curious about a church plant in New York, you can learn something of what it means to be a worshiper.
Yeah. And, you know, actually I thought of one other thing too is, I think this is another core value thing of Bethel Reading. And I just was mentioning about the community team nights. But for us, that's another huge thing of like, if you're on the team, we want you to play and, you know, do worship, but like really at the core, we want you to be a part of a family and be like, we want you to come to church. We want you to spend time with people in the church. We want you to like be integrated into the family. And so the community side is huge, like huge. Like, huge core value is like, you know, being at team nights, being, you know, even spending time together outside of church stuff, like going on a run together, going on a walk together. Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah.
It's so good. It's like that community thing that we even spoke about with church.
Yeah.
You actually miss out on things like this.
100%.
If you stay away from church and just stay on online church or whatever. So it's super cool.
Yeah, you can't get that on TikTok. You know?
You can get many things on TikTok.
You can.
And on the TikTok shop. Have you ever been on the TikTok shop before?
Truthfully, I've never been on it. I've heard about it, but I've never done it.
No, nor have I actually.
Yeah.
I own a TikTok for 2-3 years.
Okay.
Which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Considering this will probably be posted on TikTok. No, it's really awesome. And it's great to hear some of the core values.
Yeah.
And I guess my first thought after you were sharing is like, okay, but how does this serve the church as well? How does this affect your worship team? Not just like the practicals of like, oh, we play better because we've learnt the arrangement, because we've sent arrangements.
Yeah.
You are very good friends with my worship pastor, Sam Moody.
Love that guy.
Absolute champion.
Champion of the faith.
I remember him inviting me into the worship culture he was building.
Yeah.
Was totally transformative.
Wow.
Like, Jesse, you don't need to play this piano part perfectly. Yes, please show up and learn the arrangement.
Yep.
But if you hit a bum note, I'm going to smile. Because what's really successful in my eyes is not that you play everything perfectly. Yeah. But that you meet with God.
Yep.
And that began a journey in me, which was to understand the Father's heart for me in worship, but also just in life.
Yep.
What do you think these core values can actually bring to us as Christians and your team?
Are you saying like outside of the worship set, like how does that affect the rest of your life?
I think the both and.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. I mean, I think at the very deepest part of this, it's like, it's about identity and what you're saying of like,
it's so good.
You know, if you hit a bum note, you have this feeling of I'm going to get punished and then I'm going to get kicked off and then people are going to push me away. Like this thing of like, my identity is connected to this thing that I do. And I think at the core of all of this, it's like the heart is that you like, if you're on a team or a part of a church, it's like that your identity is like rooted in Christ and that you are operating from a place of I'm loved, I'm chosen. And if I make a mistake, then I'm not going to be punished for my mistake, because that's not what God does. Like God doesn't just like, you know, slap you on the wrist. If anything, I feel like he uses moments like that to like propel you into deeper connection. So yeah, man, I think that at the end of the day, it's like all these things could be translated into like just the normal life of a believer who's like goes to work and has a family, and like a lot of the things that we do in worship, I'm like, I want to be cultivating that in my own, like when me and my wife have kids. You know, we already have Frankie, so we're trying to cultivate some of that with Frankie. But
does he bark and tune?
Does he bark in tune?
Yeah.
He just barks loud. Yeah. I think he does have a tone that kind of resonates. I think it's like, I don't know what tone it is, but it's not a nice one. Yeah. Yeah, he's been barking in the night recently. Not fun.
Have you had the knock from the neighbors yet?
Never.
Okay.
Never. If a neighbor is watching this, I'm sorry for all the loud music that we play and for Frankie's barking. But no, they haven't knocked yet. Yeah.
No, it's true. It's just identity, isn't it?
Yeah, identity.
And that becomes really hard to navigate in a new worship team, because not everyone will be on the same like wavelength for you.
Yeah, totally.
Not everyone would have gone to BSSM for many years.
Yep.
But that's also the joy is that it's painful, but you get to invite people into the culture that you've learned and that you're teaching and that you're also relearning in a new context.
Yeah, man.
Hoping that it kind of actually changes people for the better. I think you've just touched on some like really practical, awesome tips for new worship, like pastors and leaders, and it's awesome.
So good, man. Yeah,
I kind of don't have any more questions. I'm like, I feel great. I feel ready to go start my own worship team.
Yeah, you should start one, man.
Should I take over from Sam?
Yeah, take the Sam's job.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sam.
Sorry, Sam, if you're listening. Well, no, thanks so much for jumping on the podcast. Thanks
Of course, man.
Is there any final thoughts that you're just like, actually, I really want to say this before I leave?
No, I just, like you were mentioning that thing about the playing the wrong note. I know I was talking a lot about excellence. But at the end of the day, like, I think that, on our team, on our worship team, and also like in our family, I think that the deepest message is like, we love you because we love you. Like, that Judah song, loves me or loves you because he loves you because he loves you. But
yes, I do.
I think that's really like, that's what it is. And it's great if you play a cool thing or write a cool thing, but like at the end of the day, like, we just want you around, like I think sometimes there's people where it's like they're afraid of messing up because they're afraid of getting pushed away. But I think at the core, it's like, no, we love you because we love you. You're chosen to be here. And no matter what you do, like, we love you and we're not going to push you away. If anybody gets pushed away, it's because you would be pushing us away. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah, it's great.
And I think that, to me, that's how I think of the Father's love, of like, if there's ever separation, it's because I'm pushing him away, because I'm feeling shame or I'm feeling disqualified. Like, he doesn't push me away, So, yeah, man.
No, it's great. It's so true. And that takes humility in yourself as a pastor, because you have to remove your desire for excellence all the time, because it's just not possible.
Very true.
You just can't do it.
Very true.
But also it's like you give the standard so that you upskill. Yeah. And it's great. It's so cool. Well, no, thanks for joining us on the podcast. Of
course, bro. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Yeah. And maybe we'll see you again soon.
See you soon, man. Maybe across the pond.
What, back in the UK?
Maybe.
Okay. All right.
We'll see.